Ich, ni, san. Jan, Jan, Jan. Kokoro Cares packages. That's what we're going to be talking about today. And in fact, I have some of the ingredients that I received in my last package. Have you heard of Kokoro Cares packages before? Well, in this video, I'm going to be telling you all about it and what you can do with it in terms of cooking Japanese food if you decide to get one for yourself or as a gift for that special somebody in your life. Ii ne. Konnichiwa, Pat Takoyaki here, founder of the Japanese Cooking Club and All Day I Eat Like a Shark, this YouTube channel. So a quick overview of the last Kokoro Cares package I got, which was the wa, or traditional Japanese package. It came with a variety of different things with which you can see right here. So in these packages, you'll find a variety of artisanal products which taste delicious, some of which you may be very hard pressed to find outside of Japan. And even within Japan, some of these are actually regional specialties. So unless you're going to be traveling all up and down the country, you also might have a difficult time finding them within Japan because they're specialty artisanal products. So small batches, quality versus quantity is what this is about. And they definitely have a lot of story behind them, a lot of kokoro or heart. And if you didn't know what kokoro means heart, it also means mind, and that's what this is all about. So if you'd like to support some of these small businesses and get a taste of Japan that you might be very hard pressed to find anywhere else, by all means, give it a try. I have a link in the description below. It is an affiliate link, so I may get a small commission at no difference in price to you. So earlier this year, I had the opportunity to try the wa package. Wa is kanji, and it basically means like traditional or traditional Japanese essentially. So if you might have heard of washoku, which is traditional Japanese food, same kanji there for wa. Wa 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 is what these ingredients came from. It was the wa package. So here, first let's talk about this dashi. This is dashi powder is what it says on the package if you can't read that. And this is kind of similar to dashi no moto, which is also another type of dashi powder with which you can use to make soups, stews, various sauces and other seasonings. So this one's a little bit more potent. It has a katsuobushi, which is the dried fermented smoked skipjack tuna flakes that have been shaved, as well as several other ingredients. And it has a very nice flavor. And if you want to see one of the dishes that I made with this, I'll show you right now. All right, so here we have our main ingredients. We have a couple cans of tomatoes, whole tomatoes, 28 ounces each, a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, some peppercorns, which are going to be freshly ground, a little bit of dashi powder, about a tablespoon of shiokoji, and about a tablespoon of mirin, a tablespoon of osake, and about a cup of water with which we're going to be dissolving the dashi powder in. And then a couple cloves of garlic, and then about a half cup of sliced onions. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to do is once our pan is hot, throw on some olive oil, just about a tablespoon or two. We're going to saute our onions. So once those brown a little bit, we'll go ahead and add in the garlic, as well as the osake and the mirin, the shiokoji, and then the tomatoes, as well as the dashi. In goes the garlic. And then we will deglaze with a little bit of osake and mirin. Shiokoji. Tomatoes. So once the tomatoes have been added, make sure to mix all of the ingredients together. And then we're going to lastly put in our dashi. I just use 1 teaspoon of the dashi powder. If you're using regular dashi, just use 1 cup's worth. And we're just going to bring this to a boil and then simmer it for about 30 to 45 minutes, depending on how thick you want your soup. You can always thin it out with additional water if you like it more soupy. But that is essentially it. So here is the tomato soup after it has simmered for about 35 minutes. What we're going to do is just go ahead and process it in my Vitamix, and then it'll be done. You can also make your own dashi, as you guys know, from kombu or kelp, as well as dried mushroom. Shiitake mushroom is the most common, and you can make a nice plant-based vegetarian dashi, or if you wanted to add fish, you could also use that as well. The second thing that I'm going to be talking about is shiokoji. Shiokoji is one of my favorite ingredients. If you have never heard of this before, basically it's salted fermented rice, so it's active, and it has aspergillus in it, which helps to give it a lot of umami power, and it also can be used in various different ways in your cooking. You can use it in salads, you could use it to dress vegetables, you could use it for fish or meat marinades, and it's very potent. In fact, you can actually taste the difference in as little as maybe 15 to 20 minutes with regard to the flavor and the texture, and it might just change your life. It has changed mine, and that's one of the reasons why I am writing a cookbook called Koji, A Love Affair. Let me know what you think of that title in the comments right now. I might change it, but that's what I was thinking. So if you're interested in komekoji or koji, shiokoji, and how to use it in your cooking, Japanese cooking specifically, make sure to check out the link in the description below for more info. Yabai. これはやばい。やばいよ。これは。次はね。So the third ingredient that came in my package here is osu. Osu is rice vinegar, and it's got a very nice flavor. This one in particular, a very small bottle. You know what they say about things that come in small bottles? They pack a punch. And this is something that you can use in a variety of different settings or dishes as well. You can use this for cooked foods. You can use this for dressings like otsukemono, sunomono, which is vinegared vegetable usually, and it's got a very nice flavor. And if you are interested in trying this out, this is what came with it, and we'll see what I made with it in this video. Shio kombu is salted, sugared, seasoned kombu, and it's one of my favorite condiments. If you've ever used this before, you know how delicious it can taste. It's very simple to make at home, especially if you have a lot of kombu from making kombu dashi. Maybe this would be a way for you to repurpose that kombu instead of using it for something like otsukudani. Alright, so I've got all of my ingredients here as usual, ready to go, and what we're going to be using is a little bit of gomabura, this is sesame oil, a little bit of rice vinegar, osu, and then a little bit of shoyu as well. This is going to be our seasoning for the little salad that we're going to be making with shio kombu. In addition to the shio kombu, this is about 2 tablespoons or almost a quarter cup's worth. If you want to weigh it out, it's going to be anywhere from 5 to maybe 7 grams roughly. Here we have some sesame seeds toasted and ground. We have about 1 teaspoon of the rice vinegar, 1 teaspoon of the shoyu, and about a quarter teaspoon of sugar. So what we're going to do first is combine the wet into the very little bit of wet into the sugar, and we're going to put everything into a Ziploc bag and let it sit for about 15 to 20 minutes to season. So for the cucumber, because it has a lot of water, what you may want to consider doing is salting it just for a little bit so that some of that excess water comes out. And you'll especially notice if you don't eat it all on the first day and you save it until the next day, all the water is gonna have leached out into your seasoning. And this is just one of those dishes that you might want to just eat up the first day, but shouldn't really be an issue because it's delicious. Delicious. I'm just going to put about a teaspoon, and then all of the shio kombu, and then about a quarter teaspoon to half teaspoon of sesame oil, just a few drops. And now all of our work is done. This is a perfect little snack for you to take to work. Try to make sure you don't have a clump of shio kombu. Make sure that it's broken up and evenly dispersed. Because it is made with kombu, it has a lot of umami, and because it has some salt and some sugar, and depending on the recipe, maybe other seasonings, it's gonna really give a nice, deep, and complex flavor to the cucumber and tomato, which you may have never experienced before until now. That is, if you try this recipe. And if you do try this recipe, let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know also if you have ever used shio kombu, if you've ever heard of shio kombu before. Let me know as well in the comments. And if you have trouble finding it, I'll leave a link in the description below where you can find it online on Amazon. Alternatively, you can also make it from scratch at home. So that looks pretty evenly mixed to me. Just gonna go ahead and let that sit for about 15 to 20 minutes. If you want it cold, you can put it in the refrigerator as well. Either way, our hard work is done, and it's a very delicious side salad with which you can enjoy with a Japanese themed meal. So the fourth ingredient that I was going to talk about is this shichimi. Shichimi is 7 ingredient pepper, and there's 2 common peppers that you'll find if you're traveling to Japan in a restaurant, for example, or at the supermarket. One is going to be ichimi, which is single flavor or 1 pepper, and shichimi, which has a variety of different ingredients added to it. And if you've never had this before, it's very subtle. Some can be spicier than others, but in general, it's not going to be mind-blowingly hot, but it does add a lot of complexity and flavor to whatever it is that you're using it on. So you can use this for agadashi tofu, for example. You could put it on yakisoba, okonomiyaki, a variety of different foods go well whenever you want additional spice or different flavor or a little bit of a kick add a little bit of a kick to your dishes. Shichimi is one delicious way to do so. So this is the 5th ingredient, shoyu. Shoyu is soy sauce in Japanese. There's many different types of soy sauce, but this is just the most common one that you're going to encounter in your cooking. Koikuchi shoyu, which is the stronger or bolder flavor soy sauce, and this goes great with whatever you'd like to use your soy sauce. And usually when you get a small bottle of artisanal soy sauce, you don't want to dilute it. You want to just use it straight. Maybe if you're going to be using it on sashimi or some vegetables, that way you can really enjoy the flavor as opposed to, I guess, mixing it with something else where you can't exactly taste the subtle nuance, the differences between this soy sauce or shoyu and other types of shoyu. And there are differences. It's kind of like wine. So if you can taste differences between different wines, different coffees, different teas, things like that, maybe you'll be able to tell the difference between different brands of shoyu. Have you ever tried any artisanal products from Japan before? And if not, do you think you'll be trying one of these Kokoro Cares packages? Let me know in the comments below right now. So I got a couple bonuses for you. This is miso dengaku here. This is yuzu miso dengaku. And this one actually is made with yuzu. Yuzu is a citrus fruit from Japan. It's got a very nice flavor, a little bit different than lemon. This is something that you could use for a variety of different things as well. You could put this on daikon, simmered daikon, which is one of my favorite dishes. Furofuki daikon is what it's called. And also eggplant is another one. You can also use this on your favorite protein of choice, whether that's fish or meat or even just some rice. And it's very complex in flavor because it does have a lot of miso in it. It's slightly salty, slightly sweet, and this one has a little bit of citrus flavor. And the last bonus for this video, this is rayu from Ishigaki, which is in Okinawa, and this has pepper in it. So this is a chili oil that you can use for various vegetables if you want to dip them in some sort of a chili sauce. Gyoza, which is the fried or steamed pot stickers, is one of my favorite ways to use rayu, and this is very delicious as well. So if you want a different type of rayu, different from the S&B brand, which is probably one of the most common that you'll find at the supermarket, this is another favorite of mine. This came with one of my older Kokoro Cares packages that I got last year. So there you have it, guys. 7 ways with which you can use your Kokoro Cares package ingredients if you get the WA package or something similar. And if you decide not to get one of these packages, you can use these you can use similar ingredients that you may be able to find online or at your local Japanese market and cook some of the dishes that I have shared with you today. So let me know if I missed anything. If you have any questions or comments below, make sure to check out the description for a link to buy one of the Kokoro Cares packages for yourself or for a loved one. Chances are you're going to love it as much as I did. Have fun cooking with it and exploring true, authentic flavors of Japan without having to go there. But hopefully you'll go there one day, because there's nothing like eating the food in a country from which it originated. So I'm sure you guys can agree. And I think that's going to be it for today. So check it out. We made it to Kogaryu. It's right there. We're going to go eat some takoyaki. Hopefully it tastes delicious. This is just negi taco set. So senbei with takoyaki and negi, onion, green onion. Close up. this is ebi senbei. On top.
Okay.
So the cheese one is almost like a cheeseburger, but with takoyaki inside. Do I have a favorite? Probably the one with cheese. Cheese one tastes really good.
Okay.
Now we're on to the black pepper and lemon takoyaki. I put a little bit of shichimi in there. And the guy also put some salt on top, I saw. I'm gonna squeeze the lemon. Close my eyes. That wasn't funny to me. This is black pepper takoyaki with lemon and a little bit of shichimi. Black pepper and lemon's a pretty good combo. So after trying all three of them, I would say that I like the cheese taco sen the most. It's kind of like a takoyaki sandwich with cheese and ebi senbei as the bun. And if you'd like to see more plant-based Japanese cooking videos, kind of like some of what I showed you today, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this one, and leave any questions or comments below. I'll see you guys next time. Kyotsukete ne. Take care. Bye bye. Yabai. Yabai. Yabai.